A little loud. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV. Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Aiken. We are broadcasting live from the Hesselson studio. So we got a bonus Steuben Senior Services Fund interview this morning. Let me explain a little bit behind this interview. So yesterday, I was sitting here in the studio. I don't remember what, about lunchtime. And two young kids were at the window. They seemed excited to see the studio. They wanted to get a picture from the studio, and their father took a photo. And so I thought, naturally, here are two young kids. It's summer break. Kids want to have fun on summer break, so what do? They wake up every morning, 6 a.m., they watch Frankly Speaking, like any reasonable kid would do on summer break. So I thought they were pretty excited to see the Frankly Speaking studio. Turns out that was not the case. It turns out they were from out of town, but they have a really cool story. So we were talking, and I said, why don't we do an interview, and we'll put it on the program this morning. So maybe we'll have, when they're coming back through, they'll have a chance to watch Frankly Speaking again. But hopefully get a chance to watch this morning. So here's our interview from yesterday with Ford and Marlin. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Aiken. We're broadcasting from the Hesselson studio. I have two very special guests in the studio. I'd like to welcome Marlin and Ford. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Hi, thank you.
Now, you guys need to tell us, where are you from?
We are from south of Houston, where Hurricane Beryl just hit.
So what's it look like there? I know you guys were not there when it happened, but have you heard from people on the ground? Yeah.
So trees uprooted, but our house is like fine.
Yeah.
Like we
Good.
still don't have
Thank God.
power. Yeah, but we still don't have power.
Okay, and I've heard through the grapevine you've been visiting some very special places. Washington, D.C.
Yes.
What'd you think?
It was so much fun.
liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your favorite part?
Probably
The Smithsonian museums.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like Spy Museum the most.
Oh, yeah. That takes a long time, I hear, to go through the museum, does it?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was like three
and a half hours.
Really? How long were you in Washington for?
We were like
1
10
week.
days. Yeah.
Wow.
10 or, yeah,
About 1 week.
You mean any politicians?
But we
No,
did go
not
to the
really.
White House, and
Yeah.
so I learned like with the gate used to be like
small.
this high,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people in just 2 minutes people would just climb over the fence and start running.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
they
then, but
raised
then
it.
they made it like 11 feet or something.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's very, and it's farther away, right? You
Yes.
can't get, I guess you'd have to run even farther, but no one recommends that. Okay. What made you want to go to Washington so bad?
We
just
so
like
we
road
just-
trips.
We
It's
just like
fun.
road
Like road
trips.
trip?
So we
like-
went to Washington. we went to California. Not California. Oh my gosh.
That's okay. It's
It's
live TV.
we went from
South
Houston
to South
like,
Carolina,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then so we stayed there with my uncle,
grandfather.
grandfather.
And then we went to another place and wait, it was in North Carolina, right?
It was in North Carolina.
There's no tips on the side. You can't read from the teleprompter. You gotta look at me.
I think it was in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. So, what brings you to Corning, though?
So
we're just
we're
passing through.
trying to go through Niagara Falls,
Okay.
and we got a VRBO here.
Oh, okay. And how long are you in Corning for?
We're tonight, and then the day after that we leave.
Okay. Are you gonna go see the farmers market?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
It's
right
packed. It's got a lot of good food and a lot of fun things to do. And then next to Niagara Falls, you looking forward to that?
Yes, we're gonna see it from both sides, so Canada
Oh, okay.
and U.S.
now. And then we're gonna go into Toronto. Hopefully our car doesn't get stolen.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Or any place, even in Corning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how long from beginning to end are you going to be on the road, or do you not know when you're going to go back home?
Probably. Well, we don't really know because we're just gonna come back
Yeah.
whenever the power's back on.
No kidding.
Yeah. So it could be weeks. It could be a couple days.
So, wow, that's interesting. So, where do you go from Toronto on the way back as your kill time?
We may just start slowly going down or go a little bit up.
Yeah.
Like go to like the French-speaking places.
Yeah.
In Toronto and Canada.
Okay, if there's any place you can go on the road trip other than Corning, where would it be?
That one's hard. The beach.
The beach. A
I
beach.
want to go to
yeah.
the beach.
I'm gonna have to say, can it be a state?
Yeah.
Yeah.
give me a
I-
state.
I might want to do like a like a plane. To Russia.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be without power for a long time.
Yeah.
Russia, I would never expected that. Is there a reason why?
I
Want to see it?
I want to see like everywhere in the world, kind
Yeah.
of. I like animals a lot, and I know about animals
Yeah.
a lot. So
Okay.
I was just trying to. I want to, because Russia has one of the most endangered species in the world.
No kidding. Well, I hope you can go. I hope that your power comes back before then, but I hope someday you'll be able to make it, okay? So before we go, what would you say to everybody watching in Corning and Elmira?
What?
Well, in Elmira, actually, we thought there was a tornado in Elmira, but it was just a fire truck because we are right by the fire station.
Oh, yeah.
So we were
Oh,
like,
were you really?
Yeah.
tornado! And
Yeah.
So you're not going to say anything to Elmira.
That you should go on road trips more.
Yeah, I think so
Road
too.
trips are fun.
Okay. Our next stop will be in your neck of the woods. We'll say hi. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right. Safe travels.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking. Stay with us. There we go. There's our new friends to Frankly Speaking. Thank you to Ford and Marlin's Wiki. I will say we did it on the rush, so I apologize that the name was not higher up on the screen. I think it went good. I think it was an interesting interview. Isn't that amazing, a road trip like that? They've seen more. They will end up seeing more than I probably have seen in my whole life, though I have seen Washington and Niagara, so I guess I can't say that, but I've never been to Texas. But thank you so much for being on the program. See, we always have fun here on Frankly Speaking. I bet you didn't expect that this morning. We've got a lot more to talk about when it comes to yesterday's press conference. Feel free to weigh in at any time. What did you think? The question we're posing this morning, do you think that it sinks Biden's campaign, like many in the media have been saying, or do you think it bolsters his campaign enough to keep it going? One comment from a viewer says, quote, I really believe that they are milking this and prolonging this as long as they can because Democrats who will support a Democrat, no matter what, will be so glad to have anybody else that they will vote for a candidate that they may not know anything about or have the time to do adequate research on. Thank you very much. Keep the comments coming in. We have to take a short break, and then hour number 2 of Frankly Speaking. Michael Joseph will be our guest in the 7 o'clock hour, so please stay with us. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking. I got to look at what break it is. After this. Hour number 2 of Frankly Speaking. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Frank Acom. We are broadcasting live from the Hesselson's studio here on Marcus Street in Corning. Look at this comment from a viewer. The Texas kids were an unexpected delight. Yes, Ford and Marlin stopping by, seeing our beautiful city of Corning. Thank you for that message. I thought it was a fun interview, too. That's why we decided to record it and put it on the air. I'm glad you liked it. We got some waves coming in. So as I mentioned, the media has been kind of a back and forth, depending on what outlet you go to. And I don't mean conservative outlet versus a liberal outlet. I mean just depending on who maybe the journalist is who's reporting on it. Because many are saying that this keeps Biden in the race, meaning yesterday's press conference. But then you have the other side, like I was mentioning before we went to break, Tony Diver, who says he's finished because of this. I'm posing it to you. Oh, here's another comment. What a fun interview with the boys. Yeah, there you go. See, we got new fan favorites. Former Congressman Joe Sempolinski may be bumped for Ford and Marlin. Yeah, I thought that was a fun interview too. So I'm glad everybody enjoyed it.